Me, Alan Partridge, and Peter Baxendale, Thomas, of the Norfolk Farmers Union. Now, yesterday, I sort of trod in a rather large farmer's pat when I made some comments about intensive farming. Where did I go wrong?
Well, I think your comments were ill-founded. They were deeply ignorant. They showed a complete lack of understanding of modern agricultural methods and simply served to highlight the sort of intense stupidity that farmers encounter from armchair pundits who forget to think before they open their mouth. But with a full and frank apology that you're about to give us this morning, I'm sure you can dig yourself out of this rather ugly hole.
Yeah. Sorry.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Hit, Record, Repeat, where we explore the fascinating world of things that just keep coming back. Today we're going to be deep diving into the endlessly entertaining and the repeating saga of a comedy legend, Alan Partridge.
Yeah, I mean, I like all the bands. I've got a broad taste, you know, from the Britpop bands like UB40, Def Leppard, right back to classic rock like Wings.
Who's Wings?
They're only the band the Beatles could have been.
Well, I love the Beatles.
Yeah, so do I.
What's your favourite Beatles album then?
Tough one. I think I'd have to say The Best of the Beatles.
Played by the incredibly talented Stephen Coogan, Alan Partridge has been making us laugh for nearly 3 decades. From hapless sports presenter to hapless TV host to hapless podcaster, Alan Partridge is as maddening as he is endearing. Let's take a closer look at how this character has managed to achieve enduring popularity.
I will, but Lynn, please have a word with the builder, because the other day his jeans were so far off his backside you could more or less see his anus. There's Dan. Dan! 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 No, he's not seeing me. I'll get him later. Dan! Fine. Come on.
Alan Partridge first appeared on the show On the Hour in 1991. He then moved to TV with The Day Today in 1994, followed by the iconic I'm Alan Partridge in 1997. The character continued to evolve with Mid-Morning Matters in 2010, the feature film Alpha Papa in 2013, and a triumphant return to the BBC with This Time in 2019. And now he even has an 18-part podcast. Alan Partridge simply refuses to fade away. But what makes Alan Partridge so special? Let's hear from the creators themselves.
They always remind us of someone else that we know. We never admit to being like Alan ourselves, but we always say, I know someone like Alan.
Steve Coogan first played Alan Partridge on the show On the Hour as a sports presenter, but he knew nothing about sports. And since Steve was not really into sports, his portrayal was spot on for a generic sports reporter.
The sporting action that will take place in this year's 1994 World Cup finals in America in Alan Partridge's World Cup countdown to 94. Goal! Yes, 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 yes! That was a goal! Goal! Yeah, and another! Bing bang, stick it in. Thank you and good night. Twat! That was liquid football. Shit! Did you see that? He must have a foot like a traction engine. Goal! Goal! The proof is in the pudding. And the pudding in this case is a football. Booth, eat my goal. The goalie has got football pie all over his shirt. I'm Alan Partridge, and that will be my World Cup 94. You can come too. Join me.
The creators made Alan Partridge always grounded in reality. His character is rooted in truth, reflecting a well-meaning but often clueless individual. The authenticity adds depth to the comedy. Alan isn't mean. He's misguided at times. Much of the comedy stems from his misjudgments, not from nastiness. He can be clueless but well-meaning, embodying traits and prejudices that many people might share. When Alan says something that hints at racism or sexism, the humor comes from his poor judgment rather than celebrating those biases.
To your old age.
I'm talking, young man.
Sorry.
You normally interrupt people when they're speaking.
I've been called a young man for quite some time.
Stop mumbling. Why are you staring at me? What's your name?
Alan Partridge.
The point being, we had a houseboy. Not a friend, you understand, an
Right.
employee.
Okay.
He used to run errands, and we called him Brownie.
Right.
Not the sharpest of fellows, but curiously, he was not an Indian.
Okay.
He was a Negro. And they are very different, because whilst physically stronger, they...
Oh dear. We seem to have lost Rose there. But yes.
Line it. No, line it. I'm Alan Partridge here at Marple with me. Just a quick look at the betting. Onion Terror 2-1 favourite, 7-4 massive bereavement, and 100-30. Trust me, I'm a stomach. All the rest 3-1 bar. The 6:30 has a 50-minute delay due to a fist fight near the paddocks between two officials. One of them now hospitalised. But I'm pleased to say I have with me the winner of the last race. Come here, Mickey Doolan. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well.
Are you now? Now, how do you feel about the race there? You won that race, the last race. How do you feel about that?
Well, very pleased to have won the race. It was a hard
Yeah?
race, won it by a nose at the end, you know, so it's
And,
quite stiff.
and your mum and dad must be pleased. And what do they think of you doing this? Shouldn't you be at school? Do they not think you're sort of missing out on schoolwork?
Well, I think I'll be a little bit over that now. I'm 33 years of age,
What?
you know. That's right, I'm 33 years
You're
of age.
33?
That's right, yeah.
But I thought you look about 14.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment, you know.
Are you really 33 years
43
old?
years of age, that's right.
Oh my God. Well, all the others, are they sort of 30, are they not children?
Well, age varies from about, 18 to 42 or maybe a bit older.
But you're
than
so
that.
small.
Well, that's the idea, you know. I mean, if I was any bigger, if I was your size, then I wouldn't have won the race today.
Right, that's why you never see people like Brian Blessed riding horses. No, it makes sense. Right, well, thanks very much for talking to us, Mickey Doolan. Mickey Doolan here at Marple. The BBC, and he is Mr. Numero 1. And, the problem is I've got some rude daubings on the side of my car.
Can you still drive the car?
Well, yeah, obviously. I mean, that's... Do you know what it says on the side of my car?
Tosser?
You're in the right ballpark. It actually says cock, piss, partridge.
Is everything all right? Mr. Partridge has got some rude graffiti. Graffiti? What, in the hotel?
No, God, there's never any graffiti in the hotel. Although, in the Gents a couple of weeks ago, I did see someone had drawn a lady's part. It's quite detailed. Well, the guy obviously had talent. That's the tragedy. But no, it's on the side of my car. It says cock, piss, partridge. Which is illegal. Is she new?
Yes, she is.
I mean, I'm basically driving around in an obscene publication. And I'd love to get my hands on the bastard. Or bitch, might be a lady.
Susan, could I take 5 minutes? Yes, of course.
Nip enough for a fag.
Don't worry about your car, Alan. I'll get Michael to sort it out for
Okay.
you.
Oh, talk of the devil.
Morning, Miss Partridge.
Yeah, Michael, I was just saying to Susan, a bit of a job for you. Unfortunately, some vandals have sworn all over my car again.
Vandals, Mr. Partridge, you know, makes me wonder what it's all about.
A boot?
Aye, you know, vandals, you know, what is it all about?
Oh, about, sorry. Sometimes it's difficult to understand the Geordie people.
You know, what I reckon is that if they had themselves proper jobs, they wouldn't be up to all this, you know, larking every night.
What?
What I'm saying is that, like, if they had themselves proper jobs, you know, what I can tell, then they wouldn't date. You know, a lot of them's from broken homes.
Sorry, that was just a noise. All I got there was broken homes. And a broken home is not an excuse for evil. You, look at you, do you go around drawing, I don't know, peephole bras on the wall?
Aye, but it was different for me, like, because, you know, I was in the army when I was 17.
Well, there you go. They taught you a trade. Minor repairs.
Aye, that and killing.
Really?
Alan was once ambitious and somewhat obnoxious, but as he's aged, he has become more mellow and sympathetic. He is trying to understand changing social attitudes and the evolving landscape. While he remains a distinct character, he also serves as a good Trojan horse for satire. So what's next for Alan Partridge? Will he continue to evolve with the times? Stay tuned as we explore some more about this iconic character and his lasting impact on comedy. Alan Partridge first made his debut on the Hour, a spoof of British current affairs broadcasting. In 1992, he hosted a spin-off spoof chat show, Knowing Me, Knowing You, with Alan Partridge. On the Hour transitioned to television as The Day Today in 1994, followed by Knowing Me, Knowing You later that year. Then in 1997, Coogan starred as Partridge in the BBC comedy I'm Alan Partridge. This show followed Partridge's life in a roadside motel while working for a small radio station. After a hiatus, Partridge made a comeback in 2010 with a series of shorts, Mid-Morning Matters with Alan Partridge. Mid-Morning Matters was a great opportunity to bring Alan into the modern media landscape. Alan's awkwardness and misguided confidence made him the perfect vehicle for satirizing contemporary media and social issues. Critics have praised Partridge's complexity and realism. Vanity Fair called him a British national treasure, and The Guardian described him as one of the greatest and most beloved comic creations of the last few decades. Partridge is credited with influencing cringe comedians such as the In-Betweeners, Nighty Night, and The Peep Show. In a 2001 poll by Channel 4, Partridge was voted 7th in the list of the greatest TV characters of all time. Alan Partridge's journey is a testament to the power of a well-crafted character and brilliant writing. But what keeps Alan so relevant and beloved even after all these years? Let's look back at the shows of Alan Partridge.
Features of the series called Up Alan's Sleeve. Well, Sue Lewis, this week I have for you up my sleeve a horse and a jump. Bring on the horse and the jump. It's not your horse. We couldn't get your horse, so it's just a horse. Now, isn't he a beauty? She. Yes, you're absolutely right. Sue, we've got the horse, we've got the jump. I know I've sprung this on you, but will you rise to the challenge? Will you jump the jump?
Oh, no, I can't.
She doesn't want to do it. Do you want her to jump the jump? Yeah. Will you jump the jump?
No, I really can't. This is a concrete floor, and it would. I mean, the horse has very delicate legs, and it would damage the horse.
Can we gaffer tape some sponges to the horse's hooves?
No, that wouldn't work. It would break the horse's legs. It really can't be done. Please don't break my legs, she's saying.
Just don't do that. All right, get rid of the horse and the jump. your fault.
She was nervous.
You know, you really ought to get a dustpan and brush and tidy that up. That could have been spectacular. We could have had a horse jump, now we've got a lump of dung.
Sorry.
Well, that's it. I've got nothing else to say.
No more questions.
No. Have you got any questions?
Have you ever ridden a horse?
Yes, I have. So I went pony trekking when I was a schoolboy in Cornwall.
Gosh.
It's like one of your stories, that, isn't it? Ladies and gentlemen, Sue Lewis. King you know, which I had. You know, would have been fantastic.
What's that?
That's a nipple. Now, what? It's a nipple. It's from the man with the golden gun. It's a third nipple. The Scaramanga had 3 nipples. That's a gold finger.
Sean Connery was Goldfinger.
Well done. That was a trick object.
Yeah,
well done.
Sean Connery was the better Bond anyway.
Well, you know, interesting you take that position, you know, the Scottish position. I mean, in the whole, you know, in the whole Roger versus Sean debate that's been raging for the last 20 years, I have to say I'm firmly in the Roger camp. You know, I believe no one could sort of wear a safari suit with the same degree of casuality.
It's a complete shambles. You're putting a brave face on it, but he's not here. You know, you tell the viewers...
Keith
Hunt,
let me stop you in your tracks there, Keith Hunt. You can eat your hat now because, ladies and gentlemen, I can confirm Roger Moore is on the show. We're having him on the show right now.
Where is he?
Live by telephone link-up from the car on a mobile phone. Hello, Roger. Hello, Roger.
Hello, Alan.
Oh, joy! Oh, Roger Moore. Knowing me, Alan Partridge, knowing you, Roger Moore. Aha! Roger, no? All right, listen, I'm going to cut straight to a key question, Roger. We don't have much time. A hypothetical fist fight takes place between Simon Templar, the Saint, and Roger Moore, James Bond, 007. Who wins? Any thoughts on that, Roger? 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 Roger!
Does the word Titanic mean anything to you?
Oh, yeah, people go on about Titanic. Let me tell you something about the Titanic. People forget that on the Titanic's maiden voyage, there were over 1,000 miles of uneventful, very pleasurable cruising before it hit the iceberg.
Well, now, Alan, I've basted the bird now. Now, what we need to get sorted out is the trimmings. Now, I don't know about you, but there's nothing I love more than a hot, spicy stuffing. Oh, pardon. Anyway, I'd like you to help me out now, right, by grasping this very firmly and giving the top a good hard tug.
What does your mother think of you?
Very proud.
Very proud. Go on, say something about proud now.
Sorry?
You know, about standing proud or something.
I don't get it.
You know, I mean, like, you know, like a man's member or something. I don't want to encourage you. I'm surprised you missed that one, that's all.
I don't know what you mean. Go on, twist it, twist it.
It's quite stiff.
That's what they all say. No, pardon. No. Leave it alone, leave it alone. Now, Alan, look, here's the stuffing, right? Now, what I want you to do is grab a great big fistful. Oh, he's not shy. Now, stick it right up. Go on, stick it right up. Go on, that's it. Further. Further. Right up to the neck.
No, that's enough.
True to point, Alan. No, I'm not talking about your finger. Oh, pardon.
I am not aroused.
Methinks the lady doth protest too much.
Put a cork in it.
Oh, well, I tried it, but it doesn't help.
Knock it on the head.
Ooh, I didn't know you were into the rough stuff. Honestly, it's enough to make a girl blush.
You're not a girl. You're not a girl, are you? Your name's Peter Willis. You're a failed disc jockey who dresses up as a woman for cheap laughs.
Right, this is Peter, right? Now, what do you want? Do you want Peter or do you want Fanny?
Fanny, I want Fanny.
Now I think you pulled out too soon. Go on, pop it back in. That's right.
Wheezing, rasping din they make. Be careful with that.
my God! What happens now? What happens now?
Is there a doctor somewhere?
It's not my fault. It wasn't my... I didn't know it was loaded.
Could everybody stay?
I didn't know it was loaded.
There is no need to
I didn't
panic.
know.
My mistake. I think panel beating was too narrow a topic. So today we're going to open it out with the question, what is the best thing? What's the best thing of all? So far we've got Sky Plus, a cup of Brazil nuts, that was amusing, livestock, valid, and wet wipes. That was a fascinating call from an elderly lady in Hempton. Let's have some more. Line 2.
The first smile of a newborn.
Ah, who could not like that? Who could not like that, though?
Herod.
Yes, Herod. That's right, because he was a baby killer.
He enjoyed... Yes, he killed lots of babies.
He did. We don't like him. Line 4, Sean.
Oh, it's got to be. It's got to be your radio show, Alan.
Oh, yeah. I have no need to... You've saved me a lot of money on toilet paper now because you've already done the job for me, as it were.
You're arse slicker.
Yeah, all right. Well, obviously that's the implication, you know. Line 6, Stuart.
It's sliced bread.
What about sliced bread?
Sliced bread, it's the best thing, isn't it? That's what people say. They say it's the best thing.
Yeah, but
sliced bread is.
well, that's a phrase, but it's not actually the best thing, is it?
Can I have a T-shirt?
No, of course you can't. That's just a turn of phrase.
Yeah, but it's the best thing, isn't it? Because also it's what people say. They say the best thing.
I know they say that. I'm familiar with the phrase, but it's just a turn. It's not literally true.
Then why do people say it? Of course
Because
it's true.
it's not.
Sliced bread is the best thing. It's the best thing. It's
Stop.
sliced bread.
If you keep saying it, Stuart, it's not going to make it any more true.
We all know the phrase, mate.
We all know the phrase. It's just an idiom.
You're an idiot.
No, an idiom, not an idiot.
You're an idiot.
No. You're an idiot for not knowing what idiom is. It's clearly confused you because you think I've just substituted the T with an M. You stupid gim. You momal mwam. What you got? You're a compleem cunm.
Well, I think you're a prick.
Right, get rid of him. Sorry about that. I should have knocked him off more quickly. I wasn't quick enough.
And a dick.
Shit. Right. Right, well, he's gone now, but I'll continue to speak my mind about him. Stuart, I've got to say, I think the Clifton Suspension Bridge was built for people like you. The fact that you can drive cars across it is a bonus, so do the decent thing. And leave the keys in your car so someone can shift it afterwards. And please don't call in saying I'm encouraging people to kill themselves.
Again?
Yeah. I'm suggesting that one person throw himself off Clifton Suspension Bridge because he is, and hopefully soon to be was, a very unpleasant individual. A bit like Jamiroquai.
Who do you think you are?
Just to explain, the sense of that line was not properly explained to the voiceover artist before she went into the booth. By the time I found out, she was already in a cab. Complete waste of 30 quid. She sounds like she's been touched on a bus. My main guest today is one of the genealogists from BBC One's Who Do You Think You Are? Please welcome Henry Spring.
Hello. Our journey begins with your great-grandmother, Annie Partridge. Do you remember her?
I do, Granny Annie. She died when I was a toddler. She used to make me chucky egg. Egg and butter chopped up in a bowl. You can add that to your files. Send it to the boys at WDYTYAHQ. Who do you think you are, headquarters?
Oh. Well, like many women of her time, she was a stay-at-home mum, wasn't she?
She was unemployed, yes.
But what you might not know is that if we delve one generation further back, we find you had an aunt who lived quite near here, so that would have been your great-great-aunt.
It's fascinating. Please tell me more.
She lived in a semi-detached house in Sheringham at the very end of the 19th century.
That must have been one of the first semi-detached houses in Norfolk.
Not in Norfolk, but it may have been one of the first in Sheringham.
But that's still fascinating. It sends a shiver down your spine.
Do you want me to get you up?
Rest in peace. Great-great-great-aunt. What's her name?
We don't know. We just have the initial E.
Rest in peace, Mrs. E. Was she married?
We don't know that either.
Well, rest in peace, E. Partridge.
What was the joke you were going to do?
Norfolk's best.
I was just going to say, shall I go and get you a hot water bottle when you said you had a children in your spine?
Oh, yeah. No, that's good, yeah. I think I was right to stop you there.
Oh, yeah.
Henry, I'm right, am I not, that my distant relative was involved in perhaps one of the most important pieces of town planning that Norwich has ever seen?
Well, he worked in the Office of Town Planner.
Changing what was Deering Square into what is now Deering Lane.
They effectively made it a thoroughfare, yes.
I mean, it's amazing. I mean, the number of times I've parked on that road. Never knew. I mean, I know it's loading only, but you park there after 6, they never get you. I almost feel like crying.
Certainly made getting into the centre of town that bit more straightforward.
And the rest. If it weren't for Deering Lane, you'd have to come in on the ring road. I mean, it's just amazing that an ancestor man had to wrestle with that awful decision. I mean, on the one hand, the square gave people somewhere to sit, a respite from the frenetic pace of life in Norwich. And yet on the other, I mean, direct access to Hobbs Road must have been like the promised land to civil engineers, cutting journey times from the east half of the city in half. He was caught between a rock and a hard place. It must have been ruddy hard. I sent a shiver down my spine. Another one. That's the second one in half an hour. I almost feel like I should get a hot water bottle to reheat my spine. It's fascinating. They still haven't found it, and I'm only 10 pages from the end. So it's like an amazing book. It's like a compendium of puzzles, but in a book. So when you think they've solved the puzzle, there's another puzzle. It's almost as if there are too many.
Tell us about the book, Alan.
I don't see it so much as a book, more as a campaign and an assault on the naysayers. And people say, who are they? I'll tell you who the naysayers are. They look quite ordinary. They walk among you. They can seem benign, broadly positive even. And then you ask them a few innocent questions, and suddenly all their skin falls off, and they are revealed to be a naysaying cyborg.
Did you enjoy writing the book?
Yes. Yes. I'll say that. Yes. No. The question you should have asked, or I think perhaps, had you done a little bit more research, you tit, is how do you regard the book? And the answer to that question would be, it's the best book I've ever written, and one of the best books I've ever read. It's not Hilary Mantel, it's not Simon Sharma, it's not Andrew McNabb. It's all of those, yet it's none of them. Yet all of them. And that sounds a bit silly, but if you think about it, it's not. Anecdotal stuff. I met Stephen Fry the other day, and he said it was the most profoundly moving book that he'd read since Jill Morell and John McCarthy's Some Other Rainbow. Having said that, the book is also very funny. Must reassure you on that point. Something you can't say about the Rainbow books, all about, being a prisoner, boo-hoo. But I also handed a copy to Richard Dawkins. He said he laughed so much that he started to believe in God. Richard Branson said he laughed so much he literally wet himself. But he was on the bus. So.
Giggling.
Don't know what her problem is.
I'll tell you what my problem is! Having to listen to your crap for the last 6 months! You've been in this hotel for 182 days, you little shit! Ben, Sophie, I want you at reception! And you! Check out is 12 noon tomorrow!
You want one of these?
A sanitary bag? What are you trying to say?
I think that went quite well.
Then came Alan Partridge, Alpha Papa.
Pain enthusiast, Fleetwood Mac. And this was Alan Partridge. Stop that noise. I was having a fascinating conversation with Norfolk's most sun-tanned child, just passed his details on to the social services.
Alan, we're being taken over.
So, Pat, no one's getting sacked. Just sack Pat.
Just gave me 30 minutes to clear out my locker.
Hello? Pat?
There's only one person Pat he's willing to talk to. You.
Cool.
Will you help us?
Guys, none of us choose the hand we're dealt.
We do need an answer, I'm afraid.
Why do you have another siege to go to?
Alan's coming in now.
Welcome to Big School.
Ladies and gentlemen, I give you...
Alan Partridge.
My partner in crime.
Oh, guest.
You are the face of this siege.
I am Siege Face.
He's broadcasting from the siege.
Keep it light.
Okay, tonight we'll be asking, have you ever met a genuinely clever bus driver? Oh, shit.
As the hostage crisis escalates, Alan Partridge has become the chief negotiator.
You've got to be more concise. What do you want? I want a helicopter. That's just an example, by the way. Okay, he wants a helicopter.
He's got the shooter!
Take the police. Friends. Friends, Pat. Friends.
It's weird.
What has happened to your hair? I take no pleasure in saying this, but a lot of people think it looks like a photograph of an explosion.
Identify yourself!
Alan.
Alan.
Where's footage?
Alan! I'm Alan Partridge. I've not been off the TV that long. Identify yourself. I should be at home in bed watching funny videos on YouTube.
Have you seen Fat Woman Falls Down Hole?
That should be fenced off, really, but I'm glad it wasn't. It's all right, I'm not retreating. Pat's tugging me off. Now, come on, we're better than that.
In 2013, a feature film where Alan becomes a crisis negotiator during a siege at his radio station. Despite production challenges, the film was critically acclaimed and a box office hit in the UK, proving that Partridge still had a very strong fan base. In 2015, Alan Partridge's Scissored Isle saw Alan examining the British class divide. This was followed by This Time with Alan Partridge in 2019, a spoof of the Current Affairs program where Alan fills in for a sick presenter.
Kevin Roddick, First Person Finance.
What is this?
Alan Partridge, Pear Tree Productions. Do you think it's right that you charge your customers extortionate rates of interest? Why do you charge your customers extortionate rates of interest, Kevin? Why are you walking away, Kevin? I'm sure your customers would like to know why you're walking away. I'm sure your customers would like to know why you're walking past these trees, sort of looking over there for no reason. Why do you charge extortionate rates of interest? It's a simple question, Kevin. You can answer a simple question. You're a big boy. You eat your greens. Hey, you tie your own shoelaces, don't you, Kevin? You eat your crusts. Answer the question. You wipe your own bum. You've always been flat-footed, Kevin. It's not like you're slapping the pavement with 2 pieces of ham. You stink of toothpaste, by the way. If you just brushed your teeth, you've got a clean mouth. Why don't you use it? Why do you charge your customers extortionate rates of interest? What, hey, Kevin? Why are your cheeks so big?
Get off my car.
Is that where you store your money? Are you a coin squirrel, Kevin? Hey, why do you look like a sad teddy? Why do you look like a sad teddy in a suit?
Not very good at this, are you?
What?
I think you should just stick to radio.
What do you have? When have you heard my radio show?
Listen to it every morning, mate.
It's only on in the Norfolk area.
I've got a DAB.
Right. All right, then what's your favourite bloody bit, then?
Lunchtime lunatics.
Yeah, that's mine. It's my idea. Look, Kev, just go easy on your rates of interest, okay?
Okay.
You know, I get it, you've got a business to run, and bills to pay, customers to keep happy. Yeah, I'm the same, I run a business, so I understand the pressures. But, you know, if you can, go easy on your rates of interest, if you can.
I'll take a look at it.
Cheers. paper shopping bags with no handles. What's all that about?
Oh dear, I thought you were having a stroke there. But there's much more to America than that. Time for New SA, our first regular update on the state of the states. We're joined by our very own Ruth Duggan for a segment as American as Mum's apple pie.
You were having
and
a stroke.
who doesn't love Mum's apple pie?
Well, I'm sure I would. I've not met your mum, but I imagine a kind of Nanette Newman type, crimping crusts and cutting out love hearts from excess pastry to plonk on the top of the pie lid.
Something like that. What about your mum's?
Well, I love my mum, but I have to say she made bad pies. And even though she loved me, she managed to make a pie without putting any love into it whatsoever. So, yeah, just chopped apples, pastry, lots of brown sugar, but as I say, no love. But Ruth, I bet you loved your mum's apple pie. First up, police raid a house in Cleveland and find 4 dead men in a septic tank. Not the kind of story anyone likes.
I do, actually. I love anything like that.
Right.
Absolutely delicious.
Yeah, right. You mean the apple pie. And the same, though, Ruth. All the pastry turns into a fat back.
Well, quite. It's been described as a truly gruesome sight.
What?
A vision of hell. Dismembered limbs from as many
right.
as...
I think you've got a bit of a delay on the line.
A delay on the line.
Copycat.
So I'll just try and soldier on as best... Sorry, I didn't quite catch that.
It's all right. I was just saying the same thing as you said.
I should just try and push on and assume that you can hear... Yep, go ahead, Alan.
No, you go ahead.
Shall
you
I
go
continue?
ahead.
So
you
I'll
go ahead.
I didn't
You
quite
go
catch-
ahead. It's like trying to have a chat on a webcam with someone in the Philippines. Or bloody anywhere in the world.
Yes. Sorry, after you.
Ruth, stop talking. We're starting again. Nod when you get this. Now, Ruth, hello.
Hello.
Good. Do you like your mum's apple pie?
Yes.
And I believe the police have found the remains of 4 dead men in a house in Cleveland.
Yes, that's right.
Well, tell us about it and give us a long answer so we don't have to keep going back and forth.
Now?
Yes, now. I should knock on the side of your box.
Well,
Ignore
as
the
I said,
box thing.
it's a grisly discovery. And while the identities of the men haven't been... Sorry, the side of my box?
And now we're excited for the upcoming series And Did Those Feet with Alan Partridge, where Alan settles back into life in Norfolk. Now I want to hear from you. What's your favorite Alan Partridge moment? Drop it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this dive into Alan's history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more of this fascinating world of things that repeat.